wanted to do a client celebration with Katherine because from the influencer grapevine, because she did an amazing thing and created her first 7K sale within 3 weeks of us working together, and we're working on creating technically 3 5K sales in the next couple of weeks together. So that's gonna be like if they all sign on, that's gonna be a 15K month. So we've got a lot of things planned. Yeah. Let's create that together.
When you put it like that, it sounds so much like bigger than it is, but it's absolutely true. It is true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
awesome. Yeah, so we're working on creating all of that together. But I wanted you to hear it straight from the horse's mouth of how we created this, because I talked about this a couple times and I wanted to hear it. I wanted you guys to hear it from her perspective, and I want to hear it from her perspective of how we created that, how she felt about it. And I'm going to ask her a few questions. We're going to celebrate. And if you guys have questions for her, you can, of course, put them in the comments if they ever pop up, because my computer's being dumb. So let's get started. Before we get started, Katherine, I just want you to do a little bit of an introduction. Tell us a bit about what you do, and then also tell us about where you were at before we met.
Oh my God, I hate elevator speeches. Okay, so my name is Kat. I own the Influencer Grapevine. I technically was a marketing and communications freelancer up until like September of this year. Then I decided to niche down and only focus on influencer marketing. Hence, the Influencer Grapevine was born in September, and a whole month I had crickets. I had no sales. I had technically been working only with brands and businesses in the past, and at the time I had a freelance kind of like on a contract basis client that was a brand, and they would like come at me when they needed me, and they paid really well, but it was always like there was no way of foretelling when they would actually come and need me or use me or hire me for whatever reason. So like it could be, hey, we need you to start on a campaign tomorrow from one day to the next. And it would take the next like 4 weeks. So I would have to drop everything else that I would be potentially doing and work on their campaign because it was paying my bills at the time. So when I launched the Influencer Grapevine, I decided to also help out the influencers, so that side of the business. And I brought on, I technically have 3 clients that are influencers that I also help. So they're on a retainer basis right now, and that's it. That was it. And then I think when we met, I was working with, or I was prospecting that client that's a brand and business. I had originally pitched them very little.
Yeah,
you made me readjust that. You made me readjust it. Thank God I hadn't pitched them hourly. I did pitch them a package rate, and then you made me tell them that the whole package was due up front, and they were like, that's not normal for marketing anywhere, a freelancer or an agency, any kind. So then we negotiated, and they split their payment into 2, and I raised the price for them to split into 2, and they paid it.
Yeah,
which is what we're celebrating, because I was shocked. I was like, okay, this one knows what she's really talking about. So
of course I do. I don't even remember how much you charged them. Was it like 5 or 5K or 4K?
Total, it was supposed to be, I think it was 5K total.
Okay, so so this is a great example of what I do with my clients in the beginning. Because a lot of my clients are not, well, all of my clients are people who are in business. Like, you are in business, you are doing the damn thing. It's just not working out exactly as you would like it to. And that's where I come in. So when Katherine and I met, she was already doing the damn thing. She was prospecting, she was pitching people, she was talking to people. It just wasn't working out the way she was planning at all. And with this brand, she had already pitched them. She pitched them a 5K package, which is still pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Not bad. And when we met, the first thing we did was revamp her packages, which meant that the prices went up. And we just brought the package up to $6,000, except the way that her industry works, like, people are paid monthly or hourly. So 5K would have been like the $1,800 a month ish, yeah. Like around $1,800 a month, which is like nothing, like absolutely nothing. So what I decided to do is bump up her package to 6K, so she would be making minimum 2K per month technically, and also have people pay her in full, or if they want to do a payment plan, it would actually be 7K with 2 payments of 3,500. So we're charging interest on this shit. And she was like freaking out. She's like, who's gonna pay me for this?
Like freaked out so hard.
Why would they pay me for this? Like, why would they pay me up front? Why would they pay me extra? Like, all of that stuff was happening for her. And I was just like, just trust me. And she did. And we actually tell them about how we got them to agree to that, like the actual process of the back and forth, because there was a little bit of back and forth going on.
Yes, there was. So I had originally quoted them what would be a monthly retainer of $1,800 a month, and then when the time came to like sign contracts and everything, my contract that I sent them said the total amount for the 3-month campaign, which 1,800 times 3 was, what did we say? 6,500?
We just made it 6,000.
Yeah. So I said, so the actual contract said 6,000 paid in full for the 3-month campaign, and they were like, hold on a minute. What do you mean paid in full? Like, your contract doesn't allow for a monthly retainer? And I was like, you see, they're gonna back out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what, like, you see, like, I can't lose this. I can't lose this. This is at least $1,000 a month. So she was like, calm the F down. They're not gonna go and look for somebody else after doing all this process with you. And I was like, okay, like hyperventilated a little bit. So she told me, unfortunately, no, that's just how my business works. It promotes full commitment, all the things that she said, all the magical things that calmed me down. She helped me draft the email back to them.
Oh no.
Is it?
I think it's still recording.
Should I check on my phone?
Yeah.
Where's my phone? This is.
Because we're moving.
Yeah, and it still says live in the corner.
But it's not counting.
If anybody's watching and
let
you
us
can
know
still see
if
us,
you can still see us.
it was like a thumbs up. Give us some kind of hand signal.
Okay, I'm getting hearts. I'm getting hearts. Yeah, we're still.
Oh, okay. We just got like an error message.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So you helped me draft the email back to them saying something like, unfortunately, this is just how my business is structured. It promotes commitment for the 3 months. It promotes commitment in all senses, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, but, so then we also said, if you don't want to pay in full, we also have a payment plan where it's 2 payments of $3,500 with a 30-day buffer in between. Mm-hmm. And they sat on it for like a whole day, and then they were like, okay, let's do it. So then they sent me back their contract, and everything got signed and squared away. And I think the next day they sent me the payment to direct deposit. Like it was no straight in my bank account. Yeah, I didn't have like no PayPal fees, no credit card fees. I was like,
it was flawlessly done. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about a little bit about that, and I just love how you talk about the freak out and like the like, holy shit, how am I gonna do this? This isn't gonna work. Blah 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 blah. Was just completely normal, especially from where you were coming from, where like you were completely at the mercy of these brands and businesses, and now you're like, I'm the boss bitch and I decide how things go around here, so you're gonna listen to me or you're not gonna get benefit from my service. So I can understand why you were freaking out. I do want to ask you though, because you never worked with a coach before and you've been doing this for how long?
I've been in the online business space since, what year are we in? 17?
So you've been doing this for like 2 years.
Yeah, about 2 years.
And you never hired a coach.
Which in business, online business years is like 10.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like 10, it feels like 10 years. I've got that much experience under my belt in the last like 600 days that I've been doing this.
So why did you, because like we got on the phone, we talked, and you hired me and you paid in full, like no problem. So why?
I binged like 3 or 4 of your videos. The night before, because I don't even know, I think I found you in a Facebook group. You posted something, and the $10,000 sticker caught my eye. I was like, okay, she's gonna make me $10,000. Let's see what she has to say. Like, what have I not heard yet? Super skeptical. So I watched one of your videos that you had pre-recorded and posted in one of the Facebook groups. I was like, he seems kind of maybe okay, that I hadn't heard yet. So I went and watched like 2 other videos the night or like 2 days before you were going to go live in one of your groups. I went and I quietly, of course, I didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
she did not. She like popped out of nowhere. I was like, who is she?
Didn't like or comment or like I tried to make my presence as little known as possible so I could just like secretly stalk. I watched your live in your private group.
I think it was like a private training.
Yeah,
that I did.
Yeah. So it was a private training that you did. At the very end, you asked, like, you opened the floor for questions, and I was the only one that was like, and I ended up, I forgot what you asked me, but I ended up having to tell you that I was charging something like $500 a month for my retainer clients of influencers, and you were like, appalled. You were
$500 a month, guys, is a crime.
Especially for the amount of work that I do for them.
For the amount of work that she does, for the amount of value that she provides to her clients. Like, I work with clients, like, I talk about building a high value business. This is not for anybody. Like, if you're just like doling out shit to people, like, you can't charge 5K, 10K, 20, 30, 50K. But she has a 50K package. We're working on selling that yet, but she has that. Like, we're not doing that shit because you're not providing, like, unless you're providing like value, right? And value does not mean a lot of time or a lot of effort. It's just for the people that you're selling it to. This is like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? Which is what we figure out together, of course. So, like, when she told me what she was doing, I perceived her as this like serious business owner. I'm like, oh, this girl seems to know her shit. Okay, cool. And then she goes, yeah, I charge $500 a month, and I was like, what? You do what now?
W-U-T. That kind of what?
How? Why? Has no one taught you to charge more than that? And then as soon as like she started talking about what she does for her clients and everything, I was like, okay, we need to get on the phone. Like, I didn't have time to really talk to her during the training, so I was like, let's schedule a call, get on the phone. She got on the phone, we talked about it. I had already claimed her as my client because I was like, there's no way this girl is not signing on because she's going to get amazing results working with me. And if she doesn't sign on, like, her business is going to die, and I'm not going to let that happen. So we got on the phone and we actually strategized. Like, she was telling me about business. She has a very unique business model, which I love, like, playing around with. And like, we were like actually strategizing on our sales call. And I was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And like, this is the beginning of everything. And I was like, does this make sense to you? And she was like, yeah. It does.
Everything that she like came out of her mouth, I was like, I look like a bobblehead doll. I'm glad it wasn't like a video call. I was like, yes, okay. Like my neck was hurting after that.
Tell me about how you felt when I told you how much it would cost.
I had, again, stalked you. So I went through your application and I saw, I think one of your questions mentions are you prepared to make an X number commitment by the end of the call? And I was like, ooh, that's what it's gonna be. Okay. So I had like kind of mentally prepared myself for something around that ballpark. You said the number and I was like, what credit card has enough of a limit? Where can I possibly pull this money out of? I had actually last year, I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but last year I had asked my dad for a $9,000 loan for a course or some training for Facebook and Instagram ads. And it was like the deep dive, it was 8 weeks, it was like 20 hours a day or something like that. It was ridiculous. It was well worth the number, but I never took off for me. If anybody knows who it is, don't say it. Because it's a great program for those that want to stick into that. But I missed the peopling aspect, so that's why I didn't stick to that. So I was like, well, I definitely can't ask my dad again because I still haven't paid him back for that one. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I finally remembered that I have my emergency credit card with a $14,000 limit. And I was like,
your emergency credit card. I didn't even know that. She was just like, I gotta find a credit card. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna use this credit card, and like she paid it in full, no problem. And I was like, okay, cool.
I was shocked it didn't get blocked. Like, shocked. I was fully expecting it to get blocked because I hadn't used that card this year at all. So they probably thought that I had canceled it, but I'm glad it did. I'm glad it went through. And
I think we got started the next day.
I think yeah.
Yeah.
I know we got started on a Thursday. I'm pretty sure you did your training on a Tuesday. We had our call on Wednesday, and we got started on Thursday.
Yeah, 3 days. Bam, 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 just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So one last question. Well, before the last question, what do you think makes me different from? I know you've never worked with anyone before, but you chose.
I've
Yeah.
definitely been pitched
Yeah.
enough coaches.
Yeah, because you're a dream
You
client.
didn't pitch me. I was like, oh, she's not harassing me. I have another one that just DM'd me this morning. She was like, hey, have you given any thought to what we spoke about 3 months ago? I was like, I forgot about you. I think I do appreciate, like when you go into a retail store like Sephora, and you're walking around and like the people come up to you and ask you like, hey, do you need help with anything? And you're like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I know how to shop for my own face. Thanks. Similar feelings. I was like, you know what? She's not gonna harass me. She clearly doesn't need me as a client. She clearly is that good. She's got a full roster of clients. Like, why? Like, I guess I don't need to work with her, or I absolutely need to work with her because she's that good. So I was like, I guess what makes you different? I don't know. Whatever. Something in your training videos, some video that I had binged, something you said, something, and it spoke to me directly, and I was like, I definitely need this. Like, she knows what she's talking about. If she can do, I think it was your story. It was your story that you were sleeping on a friend's couch, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to get there. Any day now, I'm gonna get to that point. Thankfully, my parents haven't kicked me out of my own house yet, but like my little sister moved out, so I'm super salty about that. So that's what we're working on for me to be able to move out.
She wants to live in downtown Miami, which is where we're at technically,
and it's
maybe up there.
Yeah, that looks good, right? That building.
Yeah, that looks great.
There's a few units for sale there. I've been there.
I'm sure you have. So yeah, she could move in there by mid-year next year. I could see that happening. I actually can. Like, we're getting ready to create her first full 10K, because like she made 7K, so that's not really, and it wasn't 7K cash,
right?
So like I'm not stopping there, obviously.
Yeah.
So we're working on the 10K cash month. You are getting 3,500 this month from them. So like we just need like 6,500 more, which will be like one influencer client. We're pretty close. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to mention, I love that you brought up the story about what I did. So the thing I love about Katherine is that she is a go-getter. And so when you want, I'm gonna like use a lesson here for how I created this amazing client for myself. She thought I didn't need a client, when in reality that week, I had set a goal for myself. I was like, I think I said I was gonna make 15K cash that week. And I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do this because I've never done this before in a week, but shit, like let's do this. And I pulled her out of my ass. Like, I don't know where she came from, right? And that week, I spoke to a couple people who told me no. There was rejection. There was like, no, exactly.
You have rejection?
I get rejected, yes. And I was like, okay, cool. And like each time someone said no to me, I was like, okay, cool. Because the way that I work, the way that I teach my clients to work, which is the whole thing of like, you're the authority, not your client, not your prospect, is that when you're marketing, when you're selling, you're on the hunt for your high value client. And your high value client never tells you no. It's like having a sugar daddy with endless funds.
I like that.
Yeah. So your high value client will never tell you no. They will never tell you later. They will never tell you, I'll think about it. They're never going to tell you that, because they will know that you are the one for them, and they will get over whatever shit is happening. Like, you'll notice I didn't know this was her emergency credit card. I didn't know any of this back end shit. Like, she knew she wanted to work with me. She knew this was going to work for her, and she did it, and it worked. It fucking worked. The really big important thing about your high value client is that they're gonna get results with you. But the first step is for them to invest in working with you. Like, that's like the first way for you to know if this is your high value client or not. So I didn't get in my feelings when people said no to me. I was actually working with a client who got exceptional results working with me. And when I told her, hey, let's renew, she like had a bunch of shit come up for her. She's like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. We worked through it. She's amazing. I love her. Like, so if you're watching this, I love you. Like, and we worked through that together. But that was like that was my plan for my 15K cash week, and she didn't pay me that week. So technically, like that plan went south. But you didn't know any of that. Like I showed up on the call and I was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't focused on the sales. That's the thing. Like I talk a lot about sales and making money, but the money is gonna come either way. So it's about serving your clients and seeing how you best serve them.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got on that training and we talked, I was like, this girl needs my help. Like I'm gonna change her fucking life. Like we need to get on the phone and talk about how I'm gonna change her life. And that's that. So if you want a little sales tidbit, take that with you, do what you want with it. And then last question, then we're gonna get off. For the people watching, a lot of you guys have been watching me for a while. You've been considering working with me. Some of you guys have been stalking me and binging me like Katherine has, and you've never said anything, and I don't know who you are. So what would you say to them about if they're to people who are considering working with me?
It is December 6th right now. 5th? Is it December 6th right now? Okay, so if it's December 6th right now, 3 weeks from now is what, the week just before Christmas?
No, I think it's the first week of January, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no, there's 5 weeks in this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
So,
the week just before Christmas.
So the week just before Christmas. So
let's Christmas.
Yeah. Make a $7,000 sale the week of Christmas so you can buy people Christmas gifts. Because that was my situation. I was like, everybody's gonna get. I can't even afford cards this year for Christmas. I couldn't afford Christmas cards. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I need to figure something out. I need to either hire a magician or Samoa, because I need to make some money and it's Christmas time and I have debts and I have bills to pay. So actually I did pay my debts first. But if you're interested, I've never worked with, and like, trust me, I've seen 1,010,000 business coaches, life coaches, relationship coaches that are offering me help. I'm like, fine, my relationship is okay, thank you. Like, I don't need help with that. Every other kind of coach in the universe, I have seen them, I've come across them, I've been pitched their packages. I've been pitched packages that I can actually afford. And I was like, nothing magnetized me like this. Whatever she said in like some multitude of her videos.
I cast a spell on you.
Yeah. She's a witch.
But it's good. It's good. I'm a witch that gets you results.
Yeah.
It's not like I was like, give me your money now. Fuck you, you mortal. I was like, hey. And
that was my biggest fear too. I was like, what if it doesn't work? Oh my God, that's $8,000 down the drain. What am I gonna do? I don't have money for this. Yeah. But it did. It worked. It's working. It's definitely working. We're halfway through? Not even?
No.
Not even halfway through.
We're like 4 weeks in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah.
We're 4 weeks in. We're 4 weeks in. Not even halfway through. So like a third of the way through. We're getting ready for the this is technically a multi 5-figure month. Even if it's in sales.
If I had a connection pitch this morning where someone said it.
She's not even a mom.
I would probably be offended.
Yeah, you probably would be. I can see you being offended. Yeah. So we're working on that multi 5-figure month. Even if it's booked, I'll be happy. But I want 10K cash for you at least this month. Like, yeah, I'd love that. Yeah. Do you think that's doable? I'm not against it. I'm open to it. I'm hoping that meeting on Monday. That's what I'm banking on. We're gonna talk about how to work that meeting on Monday, so that like I'm terrified for that meeting on Monday. I've never had a meeting with such a large. I think they're like a Fortune 50 company. Fortune 50? I think they're Fortune 50. Huh. Yeah. So she's meeting with Nike. Cool. Okay. She's cool. Nike women. I'm flying up to New York City to go to their headquarters because I have a meeting at the Nike women headquarters in New York City, and I'm like, she's gonna rock it. I don't know why she's like freaking out. She's gonna rock it. So we're gonna talk about that and boost your confidence there. But I'm gonna let you guys go. And we're gonna get back to what we were talking about. I just wanted to come in and talk like a real live client, like she's real. I can hug her. It was so great meeting her. So we're gonna talk a little bit, but as Katherine said, 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 4 weeks left till the new year. What are you gonna do? I will see you guys later. I love you guys so much. If you have any questions, just PM me, and I will answer them for you. Bye, guys. Love you guys. Bye. And we're gonna wait for this live video to end in 30 minutes.
Yeah, because it takes